Duchess. Glass Eyes Never Blink by M.R. Ray. Chapter 13. Willy woke to a steady mechanical beeping, piercing and relentless, a sound that could have been his heart if it had any warmth. The stained white ceiling was a grid of panels, each holding a buzzing fluorescent tube. He tried to move, but his limbs were sluggish, joints packed with sand. His tongue was dry and thick in his mouth, the metallic taste sharp as if he had bitten down on a strip of aluminum foil. He turned his head. Every neck muscle objected. The world rolled, then steadied. Beige curtain, rolling IV stand, woman hunched in a vinyl chair. Wanda. Her hair was unwashed and pulled into a ragged bun. Chin tucked, mouth slack, breathing slow, almost peaceful. He wanted to say her name, but all that came out was a half cough, half groan. It was enough. Wanda woke up, blinking hard. Her eyes found him instantly. Relief flashed there, bright and naked, before she smoothed her face into something calmer. She stood so quickly the chair groaned under her, then closed the gap to his bedside in 2 steps. She said his name once, reaching for his hand. Her skin was warm, alive. Willy flinched, pulling back and yanking at the IV taped to his arm. The pain was sharp, a punishment for moving. Wanda saw it. She pulled her hand away, slow and careful, as if he were a wild animal she didn't want to spook. Her voice shook with exhaustion, thick and ruined from lack of sleep.
You're okay.
Her voice was trembling with hope and disbelief. She tried to smile, but the effort almost broke her. Willy tried to ask where he was, what happened, but his voice broke. Wanda reached for a cup of water and held a straw to his lips. He sipped. The cool water soothed him.
3 days.
She set the cup back on the tray.
You've been in a coma for 3 days.
He tried to sit, but his body wouldn't obey. Every inch ached. His head throbbed with each monitor pulse. He blinked at Wanda, squinting against the glare. He remembered something. The living room. The cat. Wanda's face twisted in the half-light. The stranger with the anchor's voice. Had that been a dream, or was this? His eyes darted about the room. The walls were jaundiced beige. The baseboards gleamed with rubber bumpers, scrubbed spotless. The smell was antiseptic, so sharp it scorched the hair in his nose.
Do you remember?
She pauses.
The accident, I mean.
He shook his head, which only made the pain worse.
What accident?
Her lips pressed flat.
The truck. At the intersection.
She began, looking down as if searching for the right words.
It was all so fast.
She paused, eyes moistening but refusing to spill over.
The memories are like flashes,
She said softly.
the sound of the brakes, then nothing.
Willy's mind grasped at the fragments she fed him, the words sharp and incomplete, like puzzle pieces scattered on the floor.
You just moved.
She whispered.
You threw yourself over me. To protect me.
There was a glitter in her eyes, unspoken stories swirling beneath her words.
They said, you saved me.
He blinked, grounding himself in the sterile room as he stared at the IV drip, the clear bag half empty, the tube threaded into the crook of his arm. His fingers flexed, slow and deliberate, as if testing whether they still belonged to him.
You don't remember anything?
There was a tremor under the words, a shape hiding in the dark. She leaned in, her voice dropping.
Not even before?
Willy closed his eyes and tried to remember. The only image that came into his mind was Wanda, at the housewarming party sporting that red and white striped shirt, her hair wild, lips red, laughing at something he hadn't heard. He saw her with the tall stranger, the flash of white teeth, the hand on her back. His mouth went dry and his stomach tightened. Unease crept in. Wanda reached for his hand again, slower now. Her eyes lingered on his fingers, a soft sigh escaping her lips as if releasing words she couldn't bring herself to say. He noticed how her hand trembled, pausing in mid-air before touching his. Her gaze flickered to the floor, then returned with a new, cautious resolve.
It's okay, if you don't.
She said, her voice more soothing than confident.
Really, the doctor said it might take a while. For your memory.
She stole another glance at her own fingers, then back at him. He looked at her hand, noticing the wedding band and the small crease it left on her skin. A dull ache settled in his chest. Wanda drew in a shaky breath.
There's something else,
She said.
I wasn't going to tell you right away, but I lost the baby.
Just as her words sank into the silence, he blinked, not sure if he'd heard right.
The baby?
Wanda nodded, eyes shining with grief.
I didn't even know I was pregnant. Not until...
Her voice broke and she looked away, shoulders trembling. A single tear ran down her cheek. Willy reached for a memory, something about 6 weeks, 9 weeks, trying to anchor it to something solid. A date, a night, a stretch of days, or weeks. The thought slipped as soon as he touched it. Everything felt fogged, out of sequence. The numbers crowded together, rushed past one another, and refused to settle into anything that made sense.
I'm sorry.
She whispered, voice thick with regret. Wanda stood there, not moving, the silence thick as plaster. She wiped her eyes again, then wrapped her arms around her middle, as if bracing against an old wound that wasn't there anymore. Willy didn't know how to react. From his clouded memory, the dates didn't add up. He was about to confront her about it when a faint, familiar scent drifted in the air, the subtle musk of aftershave he'd smelled the day Wanda told him she was pregnant. Then a man entered the room. He wore a white coat, stethoscope draped loose around his neck, the badge clipped to his lapel. He was tall, athletic. Willy recognized him instantly, the stranger from the party, the one with the easy smile and the teeth too white for nature, the one Wanda had touched, first his arm, then his chest, then his belt. Willy's heart stuttered, then raced, panic shading every beat.
Mr. Donahue, good to see you awake.
The doctor scanned the chart at the end of the bed, then looked up, eyes pinning Willy in place. Willy tried to speak, but all he managed was a low grunt. Wanda smiled at the doctor, lips pressed into a careful line.
Is he going to be okay?
The doctor nodded.
He seems to be doing well, all things considered.
He set the chart down and checked Willy's pupils with a pen light, the brightness stabbing deep into his skull.
You had a bad blow to the head, Mr. Donahue. But the scans look good. The bleeding seems to have stopped, and I don't see any evidence of swelling.
He snapped the light off.
Do you know where you are?
Willy stared at him, tongue numb in his mouth. He nodded just once.
Do you know what day it is?
He shook his head.
That's normal. You were in a coma for a while, but your memory should return. These things can take time,
The doctor said, writing something on the chart. Willy looked at Wanda. He searched her face for anything, fear, guilt, recognition, but found only exhaustion. She listened, nodded, breathed. Normal. The room felt suddenly smaller, ordinary, its edges dull and real. Grounded. For the first time since waking, Willy wondered if he'd been dreaming the whole time.
You've got a good husband. He fought hard.
She smiled back, soft and tired.
He's stubborn. Never gives up.
Willy's hands twisted the sheets, the fabric tissue thin. His knuckles whitened, veins bulging blue against taut skin. Dr. Kurtz turned to him, the smile never touching his eyes.
You'll need to rest. No sudden movements, no stress. Take it easy for a few days. If you feel dizzy or if your vision blurs, let us know right away.
Willy nodded again. The room was spinning, a slow tilt that threatened to drop him out of bed.
Do you have any questions?
What about his medication?
Painkillers if needed. A follow-up in 2 weeks. No driving for a month.
Willy watched the doctor's hands, large, precise, always moving. He searched the man's face for something familiar, some sign that he was more than what he appeared. There was nothing. Dr. Kurtz finished his instructions, nodded once, and left, the door clicking shut behind him. Wanda reached for his hand again, and this time he didn't pull away. She held it, her thumb moving in small, slow circles on his wrist.
You're going to be okay.
Willy stared at the ceiling, the beat of his heart loud in his ears. When he looked toward the table beneath the window, he froze. Beside a vase of wilting flowers sat the stuffed cat. He tried to look away, but the glass eyes held him fast. The cat winked,